want to welcome everybody here and the many people that have joined us online. What you're listening to is 40 Hertz, and Avi Bruno will be sharing with us what that means, how frequency and energy and vibration are really powerful tools to raising your consciousness, to merging with the frequency of the stars, of the Buddhas, of the Christs, of the divine beings. And as you listen to the sound of this 40 hertz, there is a gentle river in the background. Far into the background, this water of your life is flowing, moving in time and space towards your destination, towards where your perfect place. And following that vibration, listening to your inner voice, taking you beyond where your mind might think that you're going, and allowing yourself to float in this vibration. Today is 2/22/22. We know this is a holy day. This day will never happen again. And you are here right now, floating effortlessly in the light. Avi Bruno for short, and Vincent Hu will be teaching us about the bioharmonizer technology, quantum fields, the presence of the flow state, flowing with your destiny, knowing what course to take. We're going to experience an effortless state of meditation. I think that's what we've been experiencing for about 20 or 30 minutes. Avi will also be directing this energy to places around the world to harmonize places that are out of harmony. because it really is about bringing peace to earth as a light worker, bringing harmony and love and joy to those who have forgotten. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful way, and it's a beautiful technology. Thank you, Avi, for bringing it to us. I think your microphone, is it on? Should be a little light on there.
Hello? Hello? Hi, hi, hi. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pronto, pronto? So let me know when I can start. Yeah? Good evening, everybody. My name is Avinash. And I'm very privileged to be here with all of you and introducing this piece of spiritual technology. I feel like I can be very fortunate the past 6 months. Something came through very powerful in me. I was in a critical point in my growth, and I was asking for guidance, and this shows up. And I said to Spirit, look, I'm not a scientist, but if you want me to do something, I want to be very scientific. So you can prove, you can read about it. So it's I'm not a scientist, but it's very scientific. You can check it out. And so I was guided to put these crystals and lights and frequencies together to work as a synergy and see what happens. And when I did that, I felt a shift in consciousness. It was undeniable. I felt like, wow, because I've been meditating and studied metaphysics for the past 40 years. So I was kind of understand the mechanics of consciousness and how frequency, vibration, spiritual energy works, and there are a lot of shamanic journeys. So I was, also familiar with that. So the space, this device was opening, was very familiar to me, very, very familiar. Like, okay, this is what I can call also a shamanic space or quantum space, which you feel free in your own, you feel comfortable in your own skin. Energies are flowing. You don't have any, trying to struggle to get somewhere. You're already grounded in beingness, in the ground of being, which is pure consciousness, you can say. And I got the experience got exponentially, increasingly more and more obvious to me. So I was able to drop density more easily, find my center more quickly, and have an optimistic outlook on life itself and trust. So that was major, without me believing in new things, in new philosophies or new knowledge. I was just full of knowledge up to here. So I said, I need to bring this knowledge, transform this knowledge into wisdom. Because if I don't transform all this knowledge that I have into wisdom, is pointless. And so this, little by little, show me how to be still, show me how to, again, drop density and see the glass half full instead of looking half empty that I was doing before. So psychologically, I felt much better. I don't have too much struggle. I don't have too much psychological suffering, which is self-imposed. Psychological suffering is self-imposed. So I stopped doing that, because I was able to go through, deep inside of myself and release those patterns and tendencies that kept me in the loop of feeling less than optimum. And then I started sharing this technology with my friends, spiritual friends, and they right away they say, "Look, you don't have to tell me too much. I already feel what you're trying to say." and he said, okay, or can I help you, or can I assist you to develop this, further? And I'm totally open for suggestions. This is my first prototype. So I'm totally open. Somebody has a scientific mind to get to the next level or make it more friendly use, or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so I noticed right away that I was able to meditate without effort. My physical body was able to meditate without effort. I know my body, I know myself body. In the past, it took me, I struggled always trying to meditate more than 10, 15, 20 minutes, in a very still mind, still body. And with this device, I was able to meditate for 45 minutes, an hour, like no problem, like a Buddha, and the energy is flowing, the Kundalini flowing. It's like, wow, I never meditated in this way before. So I have to give, thanks to this device. I'm able to be more in harmonious relationship with people. The people see the difference. Vincent noted the difference in my spiritual psychology right away. Because he knew me before this event and after, and I said, I can see that, something is different in you. I was more coherent and more, this creates coherency also, body mind coherency also. And it does everything to your biology. It doesn't do anything to your spiritual self, because your spiritual self is already perfect. But to the biology, which is out of sync, this makes it more coherent, your biology more coherent, more stable, almost like a spiritual structure, gives you a depth into the because the biology is always fluctuating, always morphing, the morphogenic field always changing. If we don't have those frequencies to support the field, we have a tendency to collapse. And when we collapse, means we feel less than optimum state. So this is almost like a spiritual, energetic structure that creates in your magnetic field. Your magnetic field becomes more coherent, and the brain picks up those frequencies and uses to balance the biology. And when the biology is balanced, you balance automatically. You don't have to put any effort. What I noticed, unfortunately, the spiritual seekers, they neglect the physical body and they focus on the spiritual energies, on the multidimensional spiritual energy. But through this experience, I feel like if we give the body, the biology, those frequencies, there is missing, because we are constantly bombarded by electromagnetic pollution through Wi-Fi towers and cell phones and electric wiring and grid. So our body is under stress, is constantly under stress. It wants to compensate, the ego wants to compensate that, thinking that, okay, if I connect to those spiritual energy, maybe I feel better. And you feel better for some time, but then you're gonna get thrown off again in your structure, in your body structure. But when we give those frequency to our biology, to our body structure, every day, twice a day, an hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening, now your biology is more coherent. You have a structure, you have a depth, and then you are able to connect. Your brain is able to connect to the field, your electromagnetic field, and then electromagnetic field is able to connect to the larger field, which is the quantum field, 0-point energy field, shamanic space, shamanic mind, and everything is congruent again. Everything is, harmonized again. And from there, you stay there, and you don't wish for anything, to be better or worse. You stay there, and you're open and willing to listen to the voice, small voice, the universal voice. It's always whispering inside of you to guide you in the right direction, and being in sync with the right people, doing the right thing in the right place. And I think it can be a missing link. evolution, spiritual evolution, especially now that everybody's struggling to create a sense. You know, we're losing our common sense more and more. So we need to get back into our ground of being in nature and listen Mother Nature to be able to navigate the matrix, out of this matrix of, control and stress and everybody's gonna have their own personal experience. This is my experience. For somebody adapted like all of you, you can have a different experience, more tailored to your growth. So maybe you'll be able to connect better with our ascended realms, to connect with ascended masters and source, and optimize the connection through, to the source. And healing. This also creates the cascade of self-healing, because it trains the brain into the 8 words, which is healing frequency. That's the frequency the healers emit when they're healing. They test it out, and the 40 hertz is a flow state frequency that you arouse and relax. You're really fully excited of living your life, and at the same time you relax. It's interesting. Yeah. So your brain almost like is vibrating on 40 hertz, alpha. It's called alpha brain, and your heart is in the 8 hertz. So it's like I believe it's an high amplitude of alpha frequency, because alpha only stimulates the 8 hertz, and then you have to meditate in the alpha state to get the gamma brainwave. With this system, you get both in the same time. So it's like a high amplitude of alpha. You are relaxed and you are aroused in the same time. But it's not the kind of excitement that beta brainwave gives you, which is left brain. This look like all brain, harmonize the whole brain, heart-brain coherency. Now you develop compassion naturally. You experience compassion naturally. You don't have to struggle, think or strategize how to feel compassion. You become compassion because everything's optimized. And that's. But to develop that, they notice that people have to meditate for 40 years. That's the Tibetan monks. They developed the gamma brainwave because they've been meditating for 40 years. With this system, and people, they are even starting to become mindful of themselves and the spiritual energy they embody, is easier because it puts you in that state, puts you in this space without effort. And I feel like meditation is happening to me instead of me making it happen. Meditation doing me instead of me doing meditation, which is, desire for everybody that meditates, to meditate without effort. So thank you for allowing me to share this.
Avi, we have a question from the YouTube channel. Saint Eric asks, can you explain how it works?
So we have a frequency generator that generates 7.8 hertz. And we have the gamma lights that generates the gamma brainwave, 40 bits per second. Those lights are blinking 40 times per second. And we have torsion rings that they have sacred measurements. The pyramids of Egypt, they are created, they are building up, they have specific measurements, and the temples also have specific measurements. They to broadcast energy, cosmic energy, so that people, they feel it. It's almost like antennas. And the ancient people, somehow, through maybe extraterrestrial intervention, they figured it out, and they applied those principles, and they're still available. And these torsion rings, every time we twist the copper wire, becomes broadcasts electrical energy from the vacuum of space, and that can be measured by millivolt devices that emanates electric energy. When you cut it in a specific length and you create a ring, creates a light shaft inside the ring. And they were able to measure that. So one of these rings, 144, which is the frequency of light, as a shaft of light. If somebody is clairvoyant, they can see this light inside the ring. And you can put the ring in a painful area or on your head, and the headache goes away because it's increasing your amplitude, your amperage, electromagnetic amplitude. How that works? It's basically a combination of metaphysical principles and scientific proof principles. You have to have an inclination to feel it. This is almost like very obvious to feel it, but some people don't feel it because you're not in touch with your own body, emotional body. So they have to have an inclination to feel subtle energy and to use their sixth sense to detect certain frequencies and how those frequencies are affecting their biology. Because the tendency of a skeptical person is, I don't feel anything, prove to me that works. Well, you have to figure it out how to feel it, because I can talk to you for 3 hours, but if you're not open to those possibilities, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. So it's about giving yourself a chance to feel the field, this pulsating field, and see what's happening for you, to you, and go from there. It's like a healing modality, like everything else. Like a pranic healing or Reiki healing. Some people feel it, they are open to it, and they feel the effect. And some people go, I don't feel anything.
Eric asks, he wants to know how the light going through the crystals and the device. Maybe you can point to the device, which I have blown up on the screen, and how they work together.
You have to come and feel it next time. Everything is energized by the field. There is a Tesla coil, there is a 40 Hertz, there is a plasma field. If you sit over here, you can smell the ozone that plasma field is emitting. It's almost like a lightning. Nature uses lightning to purify the land and to bring new energies to the planet, to the ground. And then those lightning creates this ozone field to purify anything that, pathogens, bacteria, and all of that. And then notice that after a lightning, everything grows beautifully. Very lush, everything becomes bigger. And the water, the rainwater, is ionized by the plasma discharge. So it's like very auspicious moment for. And if you get struck by a lightning, you might get enlightened too. Some people get enlightened just by a strike for lightning. I got struck by lightning. Well, now I can connect to the to the ascended master. Near that experience, I came back. I'm totally different, just because the lightning. Huh? Well, do you feel it, or you don't feel anything? Okay, so it doesn't reach you. Do you feel it? Okay, she feels it. That's the discharge. That's the plasma discharge. It can be, This buzzing? Yes, is a plasma discharge. That Nikola Tesla developed it. It was his invention. Yeah, for the plasma frequency, yes. Yeah. That's called violet ray plasma discharge. There is a book was channeled by Edgar Choice, the healer. He recommends the Valley Ray plasma discharge, and it's amazing what that can do for your, it's like they list in the book like 140 conditions that you can heal with that. Some companies, they're developing this device with a plasma discharge and frequency similar to this. And people swear by it. I mean, they feel the frequency, they feel the field, and it recharges your it's like almost like a recharging your magnetic field, because your magnetic field is all influenced by frequency and vibration and energies. And we are plasma, actually. Our body, our radiant body or light body is a plasma body. Plasma is another word for consciousness, soul consciousness or higher consciousness. And Nikola Tesla was able to, download the information and create these amazing devices. There was in his understanding was to create these stationary towers all over the world, emanating this plasma field that you can use for lightening everything, your houses, factory, and everything, without wires, without cable, just by distance, right? And the byproduct of that was to heal. It was very healing for the humans also. So you get to use the energy, electric energy, to light everything up, all your devices, and then also you can use it because you're living in the field. You can use it to heal yourself automatically. That's what plasma energy does. Yeah. Yeah, I only use it for an hour, and then yeah. But the discharge of the ozone also it kind of purifies your, anything, bacteria, viruses, and pathogens floating in the air, where you meditate. So it's beneficial that too. And also, I noticed somebody's a healer here, they can see the the potential of using this in your room, because when we get a pranic healing, the body needs at least half an hour to relax. Sometimes 40 minutes just to relax and receive the healing. So if we do a treatment like a 60-minute treatment, you receive in a regular sitting, you receive maybe like 10 minutes of pure healing, pure energetic healing, because the body takes 40 minutes just to relax, to receive the frequency of healing. With this one, I noticed that the healing is instant, because your body, your brain is in train, it relaxes, it is a relaxation response, and is completely open to receive the healing that the healer is emitting through. So that's a good advantage also. And the crystals, the crystals, they have their own unique healing properties. And so there's a selenite, there's a clear crystal, there is a Lakosky coil that creates a field, toroidal field. There is a pentagram there, there is a pentagram represents the creative force, the feminine creative force in nature. And everything is symmetric. There is a flower of life, there is petals, there's crystals, there's pyramidal structure, everything is created with this measurements that creates a field of energetic field that is very coherent. Yeah. Yeah. I experienced last week, I took this to a friend for the first time, and she experienced for the first time. And later on, boyfriend came in to the house, and he said, "Oh, what is that?" So I sat down, and he kind of relaxed a little bit. And after 10, 15 minutes, I said, "Well, interesting." And I just came into the house to grab the painkiller medication. I feel like I don't need it now because that was out of his mouth. So I said, okay, maybe it works for you in that way. So everybody has a different approach.
Avi, Saint Eric also asks if he can light a fluorescent light from the field. And I think we were trying to
do that. Yeah. If we have a light bulb, you can put a light bulb close to the field and it lights it up. The plasma field lights it up. I don't know if you ever see those Tesla coils that you put a light, like a neon light, next to it and lights it up. I have some electrical devices that I can measure the field and I can light it up to here. So, and because I'm sitting next to it, I feel a lot of energy moving on. I noticed that sometimes that I sit close, and if I have some type of allergy because I ate something like peanut butter or sugar, kind of throwing off my balance, and I sit next to it. After a couple of minutes, I feel like it's optimizing my field, and the sensation goes away, and I become, I center energetically, I get centered again. So I'm just exploring, just an exploration. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Essentially, it's field is programmable. So if your coach is saying, no matter what this thing's going to do,
Yeah.
you'll have experience. And as a learning, try, ask your higher self to show you the harmonics that will help you the most.
Yeah.
And then see if you feel something.
Yeah. What else is possible?
Discovered a lot of things where unintentionally you discovered different uses that
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting is the part because you had a conscious, oh, this is irritating me.
Yeah.
I'll be irritated with that.
Yeah. And also, this is only doing, I believe, this is only doing things to your body. And because the body, the brain body gets optimized, you'll be able to pick up this frequency from the field in an harmonious way. So when they said, I don't feel anything, means on the body level, they're not feeling anything. On the spiritual level, they're feeling already because they're noticing they're not, on the body level, they're not feeling anything. So the noticing is free from the experience of feeling good or bad. That's another paradoxical approach, which very few people can, approach. So the noticing, I don't feel anything, is actually free from the old construct. But they don't know that because they identify with the body-mind. And so they get kind of confused, like, oh, if I don't feel anything with the body, it means it's not working. But the awareness is always there. Make sense?
Outside it all, I'm noticing nature responding to animals or birds.
I don't think so. Again, this is my first prototype. I'm going to work to adjust better, to make it more portable and more. But this is good for groups. 20 people can enjoy the field, and they can bring in a particular intention they are working through, and this can facilitate the opening of their particular intention and connect to the quantum space, quantum state, and allow that state to bring to the fruition of whatever they're looking for. It's good for working on your subconscious mind because it puts you, it puts you in a trance state. After 10, 15 minutes, you feel like you're in a trance, like a half sleep, half wake state, and then that's an opening to the quantum field, and you can reprogram your subconscious mind. Your 90% of you that is always on tap. And you can relax into it. You can rest your body to a point where your body is sleeping and your consciousness is fully awake, your mind is fully awake, and you can sense and feel the field. And because this field is pregnant with infinite possibilities, you can pick up those possibilities that work for you and reprogram your subconscious mind. That's another possibility. Some people do it through other means, frequencies like the Monroe Institute, use certain frequencies to do that, and they'll be guided into a specific brainwave frequency to the consciousness to leave the body and to travel to other dimensions and come back and bring those gifts and knowledge they discover. This is almost like an entry level into that possibility. You can develop the ability to do that, and then you can increase it through like an institute, like Monroe Institute. They are the technology and the guidance and the knowledge to take you to the next level. But this prepares, yeah, out of body experience and out of body travel, under Monroe, yeah. I didn't have the experience. I mean, I know about it, and I got the material, and I study it. But you need to go there and to really apply yourself. And if you're lucky, because some people don't even go in there, they don't experience anything. It's very hard for them to leave the body. For some people, it's very easy. Huh?
My mother was an integral part of the Monroe Institute. She did the research for them, and so I got to be in the black box and all that sort of stuff. It was easy to do it, and then I ended up doing one of their whole week-long things. And I'd say 85% of people didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
And so they were very frustrated, understandably. They paid a lot of money, and it's you stay there and feeding you and housing you and stuff. So after, 5 or 6 days of lots of whining, I decided to help everybody. And so I went out there and I circled everybody around in an astral cord, and I pulled them all up with me, and they all had amazing experiences.
Wow.
Then I said, now this is what you're trying to get to. Everybody pay attention. This is the way. You've got it now. I'm going to let go. We're all going to go back to the body when they tell us to, and then you can figure out how to get back here the next time. So I don't have to do it for you. So I did have unusual experiences there, though, that I did. I could go into another room and say what was where various objects were that I had no way of knowing before. And then I would go into that room and see that there were crayons sitting on a chair. I mean, not a normal thing to have a box of crayons sitting on a chair, on a table maybe, but not on a chair, or things like that. So remote viewing was easier for me with the HemiSync, but I didn't really need it to astral project anyway. So anyway, it helps many left brain people either give them permission to have those experiences, or it really does alter the brain waves, so it makes it easier for them.
Their left brain.
Right. Well, my mother was very left-brained, and
she was able to do it.
And she was able to do it.
Interesting, because you think that only the right brain can do it, but I guess it's not.
Well, I think that's the whole thing, is that you can take left brain people and help change the brain wave, activate their right brain more, and then it enabled her to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So she had, I'll tell you a couple of her experiences. One was, and she wasn't really raised religious, so this sort of surprised me, but she experienced being in this downpour. It was raining and lightning and thunder and, all this sort of stuff. And then she said, "What is this?" in that state. And she heard, "Well, you want your sins washed away, right?"
It's funny.
So,
Interesting how morphogenic field
Right.
behaves.
pretty sure she wouldn't have made that up herself. And there was another one I was thinking she shared, although I can't remember right now. Anyway, it was, the same idea that you're altering the frequency in the space you're in. They're just putting it directly in your headphones, and they're doing different tones in different ears. And
Yeah.
Robert Monroe was an electrician or engineer,
Yeah.
which is where he came up with all this.
Yeah.
Pardon?
No, this
Hemi-sync.
This is hemi-sync.
Hemi-sync.
Holosync is just to balance the brain. Hemi-sync is specific to leave the body, to do astral travel. And,
Anybody else have a question?
Well, my personal experience, I've been here since, about 20 minutes to 7. And I feel that initially I felt a tightness in my body. I was detoxing, apparently, because at first I was like, what is this? And it's gotten a lot better. And I feel really relaxed. And I think it's great. Everyone should have one of these. There'd be a lot less fighting. Every business needs one. Yeah. So the people will be.
this is for highly evolved metaphysical people. But I'm making these lamps, like gamma lamp. They're very pleasant and very compact that you can put in your desk. Nobody sees anything unusual. This is for more like, serious, secret people. They want.
My question is, I feel personally that it's displacing density in general, and probably, like you were saying, the electromagnetic fields, and just the general gunk that we carry around, thoughts and feelings of other people.
Yeah.
The pizza that you ate last night that you didn't digest well. Everything, the chemistry.
Yeah.
It sort of cuts across
the chemistry. Yeah.
Because we are mostly water, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's good. Thanks, Avi. I really appreciate this. And I like the music. Oh, did you make the music as well?
No.
Okay. Anyone else?
You can apply a lot of different frequency along with this one. Like, there's solfeggio. Everybody's familiar with the solfeggio frequencies. Gregorian chants. There are a specific frequency already healing for the body. So you can broadcast those frequency through a speaker, and you can enjoy those. There's a Fibonacci frequency. There is a golden ratio frequency. There are pink noise, white noise. They are all, they entrain your brain to go to the relaxation response, because when your brain goes into relaxation response, your biology, all your biomarkers, the bad ones go down and good ones goes up. So it's a healing cascade in every aspect, in all the 12 systems in your body, and everything becomes optimized. So you have a less tendency to grab a painkiller or to grab a, piece of chocolate, because you relax. And so it's very healing, self-healing.
So my question was,
Yeah.
what is the triangle on top? Is that a crystal?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, organite
What kind of crystal?
Organite crystal, like clear crystal, quartz crystals, yeah. And the 7 colors harmonizes your colors of your, the chakras, the red and the purple and the green and the indigo and the blue, and so kind of feeds those colors and kind of fits your aura. Your aura becomes more rich and you're not very intense. You're like pastel colors, like those colors you see in those paintings. Like you're more in tune with your higher self, and anything else. And the crystal over here, the selenite crystals is very harmonizing. It purifies the space from dark energies and very beneficial. And there's a flyer of lives, and they harmonizes again the field. And Lakosky coil also creates a toroidal field, which is our magnetic field goes on a toroidal shape like that, and spinning and for some people like us, this is no a big deal. We totally resonate. For some other people, they have to be educated into the nature of healing and frequency vibration. I would love to do presentation to educate people to the possibility and go from there.
Avi, since what's happening in the world right now in Russia, we can take us on a journey to bring peace to those places. We can take this light and this balance that we're feeling, we're experiencing, this relaxation, somehow take us over there. You do whatever you want to do. Sachitananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavate Sameta Shri Bhagavate Namaha Om Sachitananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavate Sameta Shri Bhagavate Namaha Om Sachitananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavate Sameta Shri Bhagavate Namaha Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Shanti.
we can broadcast all together this frequency of light and love and allness and wellness, well-being to places throughout the world, Russia and Ukraine and England and Europe and Canada. They are all going through a lot of struggle, physically, mentally, and psychologically. And to surround these locations with beautiful light of the source, whatever that means to you, healing frequencies and vibration, and creating a powerful impact to neutralize any hostility coming from governments and so-called authorities, and regain our natural state, sovereign, spiritual sovereignty state, in which everybody benefits from this gift that will be given, which is the life force, prana, plasma, quantum state. And I just allow our willingness and intention and attention to benefit those places and people and situations and dynamics. And so we let it be. And so it is. Thank you. Everybody familiar with the word neuroplasticity? So this creates neuroplasticity also, because when you when the brains experience equanimity and state of equipoise and balance, the brain has a tendency to mimic the experience even outside the room. So if you train your brain in this way for an hour in the morning or in the evening, this experience is being carried throughout the day, whatever you are, because the brain remembers, coherency and symmetry. So it keeps developing the ability to be in that way. So as you find yourself in situations that prior to this experience, you have the tendency, your emotional body, to be out of sync, and now you find yourself to be like more harmonious, accepting reality as it is, and the people out there are, and their points of views and belief systems, and you feel like more in tune with your true nature or center or higher self or all of that. So it becomes like a optimizing experience for the body, mind, and soul all together, working together in a harmonious way, optimal way, instead of be like one said one thing, the other said another thing, and I was like, you think one thing, you said another thing, and you do another thing. It's like, wow, what is you become more congruent with yourself, which is the optimum state, to be congruent with your mind, speech, and body, one unit operating throughout time and space. We live in Kali Yuga, so it's no wonder why people, they think one thing, they said another thing, and they do another thing. So that's the nature of Kali Yuga. But we're going out of Kali Yuga, right? That's what they say.
We're in the age of Aquarius now.
So we enter some hope.
So yes, where this technology is finally trickling down from the heaven worlds. I think in the heaven worlds they have these devices.
Yeah.
The angels use crystals. They use energy like electricity in different ways, and plasma, and fire, and all other things that as spiritual talismans, as tools, as ways of directing the light, to heal, to bless, to accelerate. People are asking, about you. They want to know.
I'm not a scientist, but I do everything scientific.
They want to know, how to contact you first.
Yes. You put my info, like my email, and blisscuisine999@gmail.com.
Bliss Cuisine.
999.
And I can testify to that. When I had COVID, Avinash brought me this big thing of soup, like this giant jar of soup. It was so good. It was so good, and I could feel the nutrition and the energy in it, and the Bliss Cuisine, I guess, is the perfect name, at gmail.com.
999@gmail.com.
Bliss Cuisine 999
@gmail.com.
at gmail.com. I'm sure 999 has a very important meaning to it.
It's the diamond diamond molecular number, structure number. 666 is carbon base, 999 is diamond base.
999 is diamond base.
Diamond base, yeah. Diamond body, diamond mind.
The diamond mind, the diamond body.
Yeah, this actually helps you to develop the diamond body, diamond mind, because you go through this metamorphic shift in consciousness from carbon base, which that's our body mind is made out of carbon-based nature, and then through meditation and spiritual work, we transform this biology, carbon-based biology, to crystalline Christ consciousness or diamond consciousness, and it's beautiful. We develop the light body, and then when we drop the physical body, it's so easy for us to go back to the source of our existence, because we have a vehicle, and the vehicle is pure. It's diamond, the rainbow body.
We talk about the diamond crystal light all the time. Since you're here, just a little biography of your life, a little description of your spiritual journey, the highlights of your journey.
I've been very fortunate to meet amazing spiritual teachers throughout my life, mentors. One of them was a powerful yogi, name is Yogi Bhajan, that I met in the early 80s in Europe, and I follow his knowledge and teachings and yoga and meditation. It was very revealing to me. And around when I was 30 years old, he came with his entourage to Rome to do a workshop for 15 days, and I was put in touch with him and assisting him through the diet and all of that. And he fell in love with my food, basically. So I don't like you, but I like your food. Actually, he gets like me. And he said, when he left, he said, hey, I want you to come to California, and I have a restaurant, you can work there and develop some, culinary skills there too. And I have no clue what he said to me. I have no clue about United States, about Americans, about language, about anything. I was living in Rome, and so I was fine with that. But, and he said, okay, I said yes, because he was my spiritual teacher. He left, and after a couple of weeks, I received a letter with a round-trip ticket. At that time was Pan Am airline. So, well, I guess I have no other choice because I like him, I like his teachings, and I trust him. I felt like he was my grandpa. He had a long beard, like white turban, long gown, white gown. It's like, wow, this guy's like an ascended master. I can totally do whatever he wants me to do. I had this sense of trust. I didn't know too much about anything, but so I get this sense of trust. I said, whatever he said, I'm going to do it. So I left. I gave up my job. I left. And I came to California, Los Angeles. He took me under his wing, and I cooked for him. I did security. I was a security officer in Rome. When I came here, I did security for him, and every time I go to a restaurant or an event or a movie, I just go there and follow him. Be with him. So our relationship got better and better. I got married. We had a beautiful daughter through his also intervention, because it was his idea to channel. One night he channeled this idea that I should have a daughter, a child. He said, hey, this beautiful soul in the ether, wants to come through. It's like, you should go home. You should go home with your wife and make love and see what happens. Exactly. He was very direct. Just go home, make love, because this beautiful soul is coming through, wants to be with you. It turned out to be true. She's exceptional. And her name is Amrit, which means divine nectar. It's like all together, it was like very auspicious. So I had this relationship, and then I was able, I deepened my skills in my culinary arts, and I got to meet very powerful people in Beverly Hills, in Hollywood, very influential, and on a particular regime, dietary regime, and I was able to accommodate their needs, and they pay you, whatever, they don't question it, because I developed a niche that you can totally appreciate. And I was also involved in this healing environment through, in his the environment that he was holding was very healing in itself. A lot of chiropractors, a lot of pranic healers, Reiki healers, yogis. So it was like a multiple facet, a therapeutic approach to the body-mind. So I became very, very familiar with that possibility also. I was experiencing it. It's not like I was thinking about it. And some of the medical doctors and chiropractors, they're already using frequency devices to heal, to diagnose conditions and to heal conditions. So I became very familiar with that. So 6 months ago, when this idea came through me, I felt like, oh, I'm already familiar with those things, because I was already using those frequencies and devices on my own also. To heal my stress, basically it's all related to stress. All our conditions are related to stress. So you relax your physical body, your mind, and everything becomes optimized. You don't have to use anything if you be able to do that. But this device, it kind of actually helps to get into the relaxation response state. And so that's my background. I travel a lot. I met a lot of influential people and healers and gurus and yogis and fully realized beings here in India. I got to like Indian philosophy very much, because they never lost the ability to connect to the source. And here in the West, we're still scratching our head, to be able to do that. To them, it's like a second nature, like, oh, no problem, I can do that. So I was at an inclination to gravitate more towards the Indian approach, because they have a history of thousands of years of integrated spirituality, back to the source. Full enlightened beings, then they can really, really reorient your, spiritual psychology in a very, very short time. And I met those people. Be around them a lot and cook for them. They know me, I know them. So it's like a mutual connection to really experience the depth of their being. And it was really remarkable. Some of them, they were really, really amazing beings.
Go ahead and name drop.
Well, Yogi Bhajan was my spiritual hero at the time. I was a personal chef for Michael Jackson for 8 years, from 1986 to 1995. I traveled the world. I was with him all the time. I know him probably better than anybody else. And I never witnessed anything unusual. He was a very sensitive being. He was in tune with spiritual frequencies of energies in his own way. He loved children, and he was very innocent in the approach with children. I never witnessed anything weird. I mean, I was in the middle of the night serving food or drinks, and I never witnessed anything. And when the media got against him, and I say, why, what is this? This is not the Michael Jackson that I know. They're completely off the, they're making that up, because how can you do those things? How can you say those things? Which is the same media, they put him up and they put him down. It's like, you make up your mind. I mean, what do you want to do? You want to put him up or you want to put it down? So it's very interesting how the media works. But, he never lost faith to a point where he was in a lot of physical pain. I don't know if he got some trauma, something that he was in constant pain. It was like painkillers. And sometime he was able to convince medical doctors to, prescribe, pain medication, because those pain medications are very, very heavy-duty medication. And just like up and down, oh, give me some painkillers because I'm in pain. And the way he asked you, it was such a genuine, innocent asking that anybody could say, like, of course I'm going to do that for you. It's very hard to say no to him. Very, very hard. Because it's genuine, childlike approach about everything. So through him, I connect all the celebrities in Hollywood. So time to time, I was carrying parties and for major celebrities. So I got involved with everybody, and still today, I'm still, go to LA to care parties for them. So I'm very fortunate in the field. So I can consider myself very fortunate, consider that I never had a formal education about cooking. To be exposed to the extent, it was like remarkable. You can see my Instagram page, it's like full of beautiful recipes and dishes and also a lot of spiritual quotes.
We'll have to have you at our next potluck for sure.
Of course, yeah, I'm looking forward to, I can easily cook for 10, 15, 20, 50, 100 people in an amazing, outstanding way. When I go to Beverly Hills in Hollywood to cater dinners right now, I become the celebrity. They look at me like I'm a celebrity.
I'm putting you on speed dial right now.
Display of food, like, wow, you made that food. Well, I'm Italian, so Italian food is my default cooking. But Indian cooking actually is my favorite. Yeah, and I can do Indian cooking like I think it was a gift from Yogi Bhajan because I don't know how put it other ways. I was fortunate also to marry a woman that she became a chef also with me, along with me, and she became very successful also. in LA. She has 2 successful restaurants in Culver City, and her name is Akasha. She got the name from Yogi Bhajan also. Akasha means, it's another word for plasma or ether or quantum field. She's very powerful and she's very influential and very likable, and she does all healthy, organic, but trendy in the same time foods, and she's very successful. Yeah. No. No, my Instagram page, you can see it's called Bliss Cuisine 999. You can see a lot of
Bliss Cuisine 999 on Instagram. I'm signing up.
Yeah. Also, I became very proficient in diets. Low calorie, low fat, sugar free, and now it's gluten free. So I can accommodate pretty much the needs of anybody there. As a particular needs according to their condition they're going through, I'm able to develop recipes and foods that are pleasant for the taste, but at the same time it's very healing for the body. And also I study Ayurveda for a length of time, and so I'm very proficient with that. So yeah, that's my
I need a
background.
personal chef.
That's my, you asked me, I told you. I don't consider myself a healer, but I can understand the mechanics of healing and I think this is probably the best approach. I let the space, to dictate the frequency that everybody needs, and I don't take any ownership in that or doership in that, so I'm free from it. I let the space, the field, influence the field.
Another question for the group. How many of you come here regularly knows the difference?
I have a question for the group. Those who come here regularly, how do you guys know the difference of the device? And what do you feel?
Well, it makes me sort of sleepy, which is relaxing,
Yeah.
and I think I've been meditating for 50 years, at least twice a day, but I could see how it could help people go into that state
Yeah.
relatively quickly.
Yeah.
So that's quite.
That's all it
pleasant.
does. That's designed to just do that, nothing else.
And I really want to acknowledge you for listening to the download that you got
Yeah.
to build this.
I was desperate.
Okay, but you can still.
When you're desperate, things come through.
Well, that's the mother, what is it? Something
mother.
is the mother of invention. Necessity is the mother of invention, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but you did it. You got
Yeah.
this download
Yeah.
and you created it.
Yeah.
And so you need to give yourself credit for following through with all of that, because
Yeah.
many people get inspirations,
Yeah.
but then they don't do anything about it.
Yeah,
They have excuses.
to
of
be
why they
honest with
can't,
you,
or-
I think putting the dots together is that I start using the gamma brainwave alone before this came through, and I believe because I was doing the gamma brainwave light every night for half an hour, staring those lights for half an hour, and maybe I start activating my brain, my old brain, and parts of my brain that were kind of sleepy or kind of out of sync. Now they've come to the foreground, the frontal lobes, the executive brain, that started dictating certain things to come through. You're congruent with my allness, my multidimensional allness, and I believe that's what happened. Because
Excellent.
I can see the progression from 0 to 10, how the progression came about. Because I was very in awareness all the time, before, during, and after.
It also sounds like you could have had a very stressful life.
Yeah.
And that if this changes that,
also,
that's just huge.
also.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, I'm speaking for myself. Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah.
And I also really loved your chanting. Thank you so
Oh,
much for
thank you.
sharing that with us.
I wish you can listen more stuff. I can go forever.
Well, you should make a recording.
Yeah,
It's lovely.
I'm very proficient with mantras,
Yeah,
the
like-
Vedic mantras, and I can create a necklace of mantras from one to the next, 108 mantras, 108 beats, which is a very powerful.
Obviously, you're a very multi-talented man, so we're very blessed to have you here sharing all of this with us.
Well, some people putting me, giving me a label like, "Oh, you're such an artist." Maybe they're right. I don't know. Because I was on the brink to losing it a couple months ago, like 6 months ago. I was about to check out. It's like, you know what? Nothing's coming through. I don't know what I'm doing. But it's very stressful. So I was contemplating the possibility of doing that also. And
Look what you did instead.
well, this is attracting a lot of attention because the people feel it. They feel something. And they're very supportive. I mean, everybody. I mean, Vincent, the first person, man, that said, "Wow, I like this. I feel it. What can I do for you?" And a lot of people are approaching me in the same way. The people that experience it, so, "Oh yeah, is there anything I can do for you?" So, okay, let's talk.
Perfect. Well, let's find out what other people experience. Dulcie?
You can see. Can you see? You can see the difference. To feel the difference, can you sit over here and to see if you feel any difference? Oh,
Thank you, Avi. We are enjoying this very much. What I would say is my experience, I've been here a lot and regularly connect
Yeah.
to the divine.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to do that here because there's a wonderful force field. The difference that I feel
Yeah.
this is it's very physical.
Yeah.
First I felt it in my heart,
Yeah.
and then it just spread out to my body, and it's a very
Yeah.
physical, relaxing.
Yeah.
It's I wouldn't call it a spiritual thing. It's a physical thing that helps you connect spiritually.
That's what I said to Vince from the very beginning. I said, it's about your biology, your body, your brain body. Optimize your brain body. And then the mind is fine. The mind is a field. Doesn't need to be fixed. And then that morphogenic field, the larger field, doesn't need to be fixed. Like that's Gaia, that's the quantum state, is always perfect. But this interface needs to be optimized to a point where there's no, it's like tuning a radio. You have to put in the right frequency to pick up the channel that you want, that you desire. The same thing. It's just allow just that, nothing else. Yes.
So, normally being in this place is already a trip.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like an advantage for your machine.
Yeah.
Then your own self,
Yeah.
the creator and ambassador. I don't know if I can separate you from it or not. I don't know if the machine works away from you. So I guess it needs to be peer review, and we need to meet again somewhere else and do this again to really see if this works or if it's just a cocktail of all of these amazing elements combined together.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's really amazing.
Yeah.
It's hard to separate again because
Yeah.
again we're already here in this place where things just take place, and then your story, your being,
Yeah.
the field that you bring with you and everyone else's, and then the machine, I think it's just doing something.
Yeah. It's a biohacking.
Because
I
it's-
call it biohacking.
It's biohacking.
Biohacking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Biohacking.
yeah. It's starting to.
It's like, this is the lazy path for awakening. Means you're cheating.
Exactly.
You're cheating. Yeah, exactly.
Asking how much it costs.
Oh, well, when this prototype is finished and it's compact, it's easy to transport, in the range of $1,400. Yeah. Yeah, for what it does. And there is also small units that do the same, much less. So that, what I love to see happening eventually is creating this biohacking community that many individuals own this and they use it twice a day, and then we go online once a week and to share our experiences and to maximize the experience, because these growths are new, depending on the ability of your openness and inclination and willingness to drop, what doesn't work and allow a new flux of pure energy, pure potential to work with you. And so there's definitely a potential for growth, spiritual growth, without struggle. We take the word struggle out of the equation and we bring in the flow state, which is the gold standard of our existence, is flow state. And God is in the flow state. Christ, you said, I'm the way, I'm the flow. And when we're in the flow, we're in the flow. Everything becomes optimized. Everything becomes like you wanna sing, you wanna dance, you don't, you see reality as it is and not through the filters of your conditioning. And that's the form of ascension. That's actually ascension. Ascension is not a place to go, it's a state of mind, it's a state of beingness. Ascension is right here, right now, if we allow it. But because we are constantly bombarded by this electromagnetic field, they are not congruent with our spiritual psychology. We need a little help. And nature is here to help us, right? But when we live in these structures, we're not living in nature with dwellings more congruent with nature, walking on the ground, and so we're missing those frequencies. And science, for the past 60, 70, 8 years, this stuff is not new. This stuff has been going on for a long time. But the powers that be, they don't tell us. So how can we find out? How can we find out? So I'm very fortunate to be able to put this together. And there is another paradigm in the technology, healing technology community that build these units, and they charge you $16,000, $17,000, $20,000, $25,000, and it's just a piece of medical device. So if my desire is to create something that is affordable, that is pleasant for the eyes and for the senses, and I want to not to become another toy that you buy and you put away. This is something that you need, your biology needs, your mind needs, your brain needs every day. And when you get a hook on this, you gravitate towards this. You can't wait to come home and rest into this field. I mean, I find my body self to be in my bedroom more than ever. Because in my bedroom more than ever. I usually go, before this event, I used to go bed like 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Now I'm there like 5 o'clock into the next morning. I say, what's going on? No, I meditate, I contemplate, I listen, and that time goes by, and then I fall asleep, and then in the morning I wake up again, and so it's interesting. I'm just witnessing this whole phenomenon,
Yeah, I just wanted to offer the reflection of the difference in the space for me tonight.
Yeah.
Is my experience of here is it's very in tune with the high vibration in the ethereal realms, and tonight I experienced it as being more deeply grounded.
Mm-hmm.
So I found my awareness is pulled down more into my body than when I'm here, I'm up there because it feels so good up there.
Yeah.
And so this
Yeah.
brought that, which is beautiful.
Yeah. You're fully grounded. You're fully present in your body.
Yeah.
You know, the body is the gate. You know, it's the Antakarana. Oh, I was gonna call Antakarana, which is Antakarana is the Rainbow Bridge. You know, I remember you mentioned about the Antakarana. So I'm gonna call this the Antakarana. It's the Rainbow Bridge. You're fully grounded, you're fully aroused, and fully relaxed. Your body's relaxed, and you know, brainstorming the higher, understanding of spiritual energies. And so Antakarana is a Sanskrit word, but it's been used for the Ascended Masters a lot. The rainbow body, so everything we do in a spiritual sense, we're creating Antakarana. You know, through our meditation, through our yoga, mindfulness, awareness, creating this bridge. And it's an imaginary bridge. It's not an actual bridge. It's you're activating spiritual imagination that creates this bridge. Because we are not really separate from anything. But somehow we like the thing that is a separation. So we create this rainbow bridge, like a child can create it in an instant. But for us adults to create a rainbow bridge, like what are you talking about? Well, we have to do it. That's why they said you have to be innocent like a child, to enter the kingdom. So we have to allow this, activate this God human imagination to be able to go back to our source. Because we fall, through our own imagination. Now we have to go back to our own imagination, using our imagination in a way that is more congruent with the, God created us in His image and imagination. In image means imagination. Well, now we have to create God in our own imagination. You have to make sure that we have a very juicy imagination to create God existence the way it's congruent with ourselves into a God self. So we have to create this God self imagination, which is very, very. That's what all the Ascended Masters have been telling us. This is all imagination, higher realm imagination. High frequency imagination. Yeah. That we are not separate. We've never been separate, and never will be separate. And we make the best out of it in our own imagination. So we can build, crystal palaces in our own imagination and live in it and feel the frequencies in any given moment. Because everything that we experience is all imagination anyway, by default or by deliberate, creation. So we have to make, a fundamental choice, And it's allowed. Everything's allowed. So why not? I used to wear a white turban for 20 years, long beard, and I was completely against my family values to do that. But I did it because I felt good. I opened up my imagination, and I can do that over and over again.
And one day the razor came out.
Yeah, it was very congruent with my spiritual identity. It made me very, very kind of royal, spiritually speaking. And unfortunately, we have a society that doesn't support that kind of radical look, radical approach. But I experienced it long enough to appreciate it for myself. Yeah. And I have to do it again. I do it again. Yeah.
Avinash, I want to thank you for your beautiful heart, your beautiful heart sharing, your beautiful machine. And I know the people on the broadcast, you'll have to go back to the YouTube channel and answer their questions. There's just too many to really, for me to type in the answer or whatever, they would, when you have time, take a look at their questions and then you'll be able to respond to them.
Yeah, thank you. This is my first presentation ever, so I don't know how I did it.
Good job. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you. I've always been super sensitive to public, groups but hey, maybe this is encouraging.
Thank you for your wisdom also and your life experience. I love how your life experience, is where you base your real wisdom on. And, life teaches us in our journey many things that we need to take to heart to get to the next level, because everything matters. Everything is part of the journey. Everything is important, especially in this life. Especially in this life. Everything matters. So we're going to sign off on the broadcast. I want to thank everyone for joining us. I want to thank Vincent for bringing Avinash to us. And I just want to end in a prayer. I know that if we want peace on earth, we really have to have peace within. And anything that is not at peace within as light workers, if we're not experiencing this peace, just remove it, kick it out right now. Find that place of peace within yourself. And Avinash said, it is our natural state. So that exists eternally within each and every one of us, that place of peace. And from there we can begin to emanate out around the world. And so if we all hold that place of peace within ourselves, we are affecting and effecting the world, affecting our brothers and sisters, effecting the earth herself, as we are holding that energy of heaven, that vibration of heaven, that reality of heaven here on earth. And there's so much going on right now to create a war, to create strife and struggle. And so the more that we can hold peace within ourselves, we are doing our job as light workers. In the name of the Christ, we call to you, beloved Alpha and Omega, to the Creator, the source of all peace, of all love, of the brother sisterhood of light, the family of God. And we collectively bring this understanding, this beautiful light, this holy frequency over Russia, over Asia, over Europe, over the whole earth. And we hold that vision. We hold that vision that there will be peace on earth. Brotherhood, sisterhood, the family of God. No need to fight. No need. for war. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. God bless you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening on 2/22/22. This is a day that you can ask for a miracle. Ask the universe for anything, as this portal is open, as many have said.